Dolovina guia dolosana anche totalita kini ana warong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na dang ko tevita utu ngoi 90 ang totalita ka wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Na dang ko makilesi werkraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Batambo ando talita na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM number 2 ana sir.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. This is FBC News. Tonight, Fiji wins from 2 matches in Hong Kong Sevens. Government announces major housing initiative for TC Winston victims. And public warned on recent online shopping scam. Leading our news tonight, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens side has qualified for the Hong Kong Sevens Cup quarterfinals with 1 pool match remaining. Osea Kolinsau and his men hammered South Korea 57-0 in Fiji's second pool match. Eminoni Nasila scored a hat-trick while Semi Kunatani scored 2 tries out of the 9-try haul by Fiji. And we will have more on the Hong Kong Sevens in our sports segment. Now, Fijians that were affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston will now be able to rebuild their homes on their own through a Help for Homes initiative launched by the government in Suva today. Phase 1 of the initiative will provide financial assistance for homeowners who don't have the means to finance repairs on their own. Alan Stoltz has the story.
$70 million has been allocated towards the Help for Homes program to assist Fijians that were severely affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. The assistance applies to households who earn less than $50,000 annually.
These households will receive a prepaid electronic card, much like the M-Paisa, with a set amount on it and a PIN number to purchase the building materials from selected hardware outlets. The amount on the card will depend on the amount of damage to people's homes. A $1,500 limit for partial roofing damage, a $3,000 limit for serious roofing damage, and a $7,000 limit for almost or completely demolished homes.
Bainimarama says expressions of interest will be published in the Fiji Sun tomorrow for hardware outlets to bid for the right to sell materials to the recipients of these cards.
We don't want this scheme to be delayed because we have to check every claim in every roof. We are depending on you to be honest. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this initiative puts a lot of faith in the ordinary men and women of Fiji to do the right thing, to use these resources as they are intended to be used. This is an unprecedented initiative, one that will succeed.
Bainimarama also highlighted the need for Fijians to build back better, stronger homes with the assistance of the Fiji Institute of Engineers, who have been helping the government by providing assessments of structures, schools, health facilities and public buildings in identified areas. FIE President Warren Yee says their voluntary assistance was given without hesitation.
The work also allowed engineers to recommend improving rebuild standards, identify common failure modes of the structures, assess material performance to withstand future cyclones, and identify areas that need improvement in the building code.
The Prime Minister says the initial $70 million that was allocated for this initiative can be revised depending on how many applications they receive and on donor assistance. The prepaid electronic cards are expected to be ready by May. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
A customer who was duped by the online boutique Desi Fashion House, previously known as Pink Window Creations, operating through Facebook, is now advising the public not to be easily fooled by the images of items sold online. A 22-year-old university student, Natasha Nair, shares her experience after being deceived by the online business earlier this year. Savara Tambua has more.
These are some of the items posted on Desi Fashion House Facebook page being sold online. Natasha Naya paid $140 in cash between December last year to February this year.
I waited until a month or so, and then when I saw that she was completely ignoring my messages and avoiding my sister-in-law's calls, I complained to my mom, and she was just seeing this for a while, so she decided to lodge a complaint to Consumer Council on our behalf. So I think once the complaint was lodged, they started calling her up because she had her number on her profile, the business page that she had. So I think Consumer Council started to pester her a lot, and then that's when she decided that, it'd be better for her to just refund our cash.
Naya says that the company has a 1-month waiting period before a customer receives their purchased package. The Consumer Council of Fiji says the complaints on the purchase of items from this online boutique is now being investigated, as it appears to be a repeated scam from 2013.
We've received 3 complaints against Desi Fashion House, and the monetary value comes to about $560. And when the complainants came forward with their complaint, we carried out our investigation, and we found out that in fact the owner was the same lady who was operating Pink Window Creation at one time.
Customers have been advised to come forward with evidence and lodge official complaints with the council. FBC News has sent questions to Desi Fashion House but has received no response when this bulletin went to air. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, government launches Adopt a School website. And tourists flock to Nandi after heavy flooding. Stay with us for this and more.
Namaste, Golden Point Resort. Raki Raki Me. Mirchi FM is garam garam. Mirchi FM is hot.
I'm Sanjay Taguake. Mirchi FM is hot.
I'm Harshana. I love Mirchi FM. It's hot in Lautoka.
Hi, मैं अविनाशु. मैं लंबासा से बोल रहा हूँ. मैं हमेशा मिर्ची एफएम सुन रहा हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम is so hot.
मैं शालिनी देवी from Covert Avenue. जैसे आँख खुलती है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम मुझे मस्त कर देती है. मिर्ची एफएम is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back. You're with FBC News. The government has today officially launched the website for the Adopt a School initiative, which encourages the world to assist students in cyclone-ravaged areas. The website was launched by Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama. Ellen Stoltz tells us more.
The Adopt a School initiative allows foreign governments, donor agencies, private companies and community groups to adopt schools that were severely damaged by the Category 5 cyclone. They will spearhead the building process by providing the financial assistance the school needs.
This will be great help. Like Government of Australia has promised to construct 26 schools. Now Government of New Zealand are coming on board. And there are other institutions, private sector organizations, individuals outside Fiji as well. So it's a huge assistance to Fiji and the Fijians.
Dr. Reddy adds donors can continue to provide assistance after the rebuild.
That once people have adopted these schools, over time it will be in their interest to see that the school is kept well, regularly maintained. That again is another dimension which is kind of underscored in this whole exercise, and that is underpinning the vision of Ministry of Finance to come up with this Adopt a School program.
Meanwhile, 70 structural assessors from the Fiji Institute of Engineers have been sent to the field to identify the precise needs of the 229 schools that were damaged. Ellen Stoltz, FBC News.
A 47-year-old father has been sentenced to 11 years imprisonment for raping his 7-year-old daughter while his wife was in the hospital to deliver a baby. The court heard that the incident took place between 1st January to 24th April last year, when the accused and the victim were staying at a friend's place while the victim's mother was in the hospital expecting a baby. The Lautoka High Court judge has imposed a non-parole period of 10 years. Meanwhile, in another incident, a 30-year-old father convicted of raping and sexually assaulting his own daughters has been sentenced to 13 years of imprisonment by the Suva High Court. The accused committed the offence on his 11-year-old and 13-year-old daughters between 1st August and 31st October 2013 in a settlement in Nasinu. While sentencing the accused, the High Court said that rape and abuse of children are becoming prevalent in our society, and a deterrent sentence is called for to warn other would-be offenders. Well, 3 days after it was inundated with floodwaters, Nandi opened its doors to a tourist cruise ship that berthed at Port Denarau this morning. The Nandi Tourism Committee says this indicates good fortunes despite the spate of natural disasters Fiji has had to endure early this year. Madhum Boletamana with this report.
The sight of tourists flocking our shores in big numbers has somewhat been a thing of the past since the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Winston. But the pictures in Nandi today told a different story.
Since the cruise ship arrived in Nandi, at the Port Denarau, we can see the smiles of the Nandi stakeholders. They're happy in terms of getting some and seeing the tourist flow in Nandi town itself. And obviously, Port Denarau is another part of Nandi as well. And we see that Port Denarau is basically trying to assist and bring tourists into town to help the Nandi town stakeholders.
The local industry hopes that after this experience, numbers will return to its peak as the cyclone season makes its exit.
Family trips would like to see more agents coming through into Nandi, like the tourism expo coming up recently in a few months, and hopefully Tourism Fiji will assist us basically to get more agents into Nandi town.
Chandra says the committee will be working closely with the Nandi Chamber of Commerce in building on giving tourists a special experience whilst in the jet set town.
We're very close, as mentioned before. It's good that the cruise ship has arrived in Nandi despite the cyclone, and we see the smiles in Nandi town, especially with the stakeholders.
Since the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Winston, Tourism Fiji, government and key industry stakeholders have been working together in luring short-term and long-term markets for the future. Madhum Boletamana, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, Fiji 7 survived tough battle in opening game. And Suva put up a gutsy fight in OFC Champions League. This and more coming up.
Yandra, I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Fbctv. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Value. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marita Manako. I'm from Kandabu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavo Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the
Welcome to FBC Sports. Now, the Vodafone Fiji 7 side survived a tough challenge from Canada to win its opening game in the Hong Kong Sevens. The Maple Leafs were quick off the block in the first spell, but indiscipline cost them dearly to allow the Fiji 7 side to crawl its way to victory. Fiji's final pool game is against Wales at 8:24 p.m. and you can watch it live on Fbctv. The Telecom Fijiana side has qualified for the Cup quarterfinals of the Atlanta Sevens in USA. The Fijiana side will face Canada in the Cup quarterfinals of the Atlanta Sevens at 4:52 a.m. tomorrow. Well, the Suva football side put up a strong effort but eventually lost to Team Wellington by 2-0 in the OFC Champions League in New Zealand. It was a gutsy performance by coach Gurjeet Singh's men as they held last year's losing finalists goalless until the late stages of the second half. Suva will take on Papua New Guinea's Hikari United side at 1 p.m. next Tuesday. Nandi will face Kiwi on Monday at 3:30 p.m. Remember, you can watch both these matches live on Fbctv. The Crusaders extended their winning streak in Super Rugby this season to 5 consecutive games after beating the Western Force 2019 in Perth last night. Meanwhile, the Kings will face the Bulls at 5:10 a.m. tomorrow, and you can watch it live as well on Fbctv. Cloudy periods with brief showers about the interior and southern parts of the larger islands were experienced today. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers were experienced. Temperatures in Lambasa was the hottest today on 33 degrees, Ba and Nandi were on 31, Lautoka on 30 degrees, while Savu Savu and Nandi were the coolest on 29 and 28 degrees. Now for tomorrow, cloudy periods with some showers about the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands are expected. It should be fine elsewhere. Taking a look at Monday, brief showers about the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Once again, fine elsewhere. Recapping our headlines. Fiji wins from 2 matches in Hong Kong Sevens and qualifies for Cup quarters. Government announces major housing initiative for Tropical Cyclone Winston victims. And public warned on recent online shopping scam. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. On to the poll question for this week. And we are asking, can the Fiji Sevens team win the Hong Kong and Singapore titles? To answer, visit our FBC website. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email as well, citizens@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News, and we now go straight back to the Hong Kong Sevens. Good night.
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।
हम नकाशी से साइमान है, हमारा वेजिटेबल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है।
माय नेम इज दिनेश, हम नैनी में काम करता है, स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में, और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लाइक इट।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.